Hey guys, my name is Ashley Shaw, and today, hopefully, I'll tell you what the title of the presentation is, you can make sure you're in the right room. Today I'm going to be talking about Ain't Nobody Got Time for That, what you actually need to know about social media to generate leads online. So can you put up your hand? Has anyone tried to generate leads online before? Can you just put up your hand if you have? Okay, cool. Who is too afraid to do it because there's way too many steps? Okay, cool. Got it. Anyone done it successfully and they're like, I just want to learn a little bit more to get... Okay, cool. Anyone find it overwhelming? Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. Great to know. So I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about me, a little bit of my street credit to know how I'm here today talking about marketing, what all those sorts of things have led me to this point to be able to talk about this. So what I actually do is I help fitness professionals eliminate the marketing overwhelm. So for me, my mom went into contractions at a Gold's Gym parking lot, and that's sort of how I got introduced to fitness. My dad was a bodybuilder who had hammer pants and a fanny pack. My mom was an aerobics instructor with a full leotard situation. So I used to wear that a lot, just because, as a kid you go through your mom's closet, and that's how I was brought up in the Gold's Gym world, as a kid. So I thought everyone was into fitness and had a full gym in their basement. I just thought that's how it was. So that's really where I got my start into fitness. And so my first job as in after university, I decided to become a personal trainer with Good Life Fitness. And I thought my mom was going to kill me. She was like, what? What are you doing? They had sold the gym at this point. It was like, no, we don't want you to go into fitness. It's really tough. The times have changed, Does anyone know of Cobourg, Ontario? Hometown represent. That's where I'm from. That's where the gym was, downtown Cobourg. So that's where I started my career in personal training. And then working for Good Life Fitness, there was a ton of opportunity. I became a manager of the trainers. Then I started managing the whole gym. And then they were like, hey, we got a job out in Nova Scotia if you want to go into training and development. And I was like, hell yeah, sign me up. Bill, you're moving with me. We're going. So I accepted the job and then told my husband we were moving to Nova Scotia. So in that role, I was in training and development and then moved into working in sales. And I had a district. Anyone heard of Fredericton, New Brunswick? Yes. Okay, cool. So I moved out there without being there at all first. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll take that job. And I had 9 clubs out there as a district sales manager. So from there, the rest of my career, I got recruited to go out to Steve Nash Fitness out in BC. Anyone heard of Steve Nash? Yeah. Okay, sweet. Yeah, so that was a very cool experience. And then I became the president of a fitness company on Vancouver Island. And then I decided that my husband and I were living in 2 different places. I had been out in BC for 3 years. And I decided it was time that maybe we should probably live together because we've been married for 9. So it was like, all right, I guess I'll come home. So anyhow, the last 2 years I've been working on sales and marketing, and I help fitness coaches and fitness studios get themselves online. And so, sorry, I had to give you that brief synopsis because sometimes it's like, cool, this person's here to talk about marketing. What the hell do they know about fitness? Legit, I've been there, done that, have the t-shirt. Fitness has been it's in my blood. So that's a little bit about my past and my history. And this is something that if you are a trainer or you are a studio, has anyone seen the Simon Sinek, The Golden Circle, where we talk? Okay, if you haven't seen that, write that down. He talks about how when you are in sales, it's so important to talk about the why because it translates on a different level in our brain that if you think about the way Apple communicates with their customers versus Dell, does anyone remember a Dell commercial? No, right? Because they talk about I've got a gigaprocessor of this, right? Whereas Apple is look at the photos of your grandchildren and look at how great this is, this picture that you took at the basketball game, the one for your son the first time. They talk about the why every single time. That's what translates and that's what people remember. So when it comes to the sweet spot, these are the 3 things, as a personal trainer, you need to nail. This is like marketing 101. This was one of the first things when I actually got my business going. I was really, like, I just dove into this concept. So what were you born to do? If you think of yourself as a personal trainer, like, we all have something we were born to do. And I guess, like, I've made it, like, I've got an easy story because my mom went into contractions at a Gold's Gym parking lot. Like, that obviously, like, is an easy translation, but we all have something we were born to do. So it's really important to figure out what it is, like, what is fulfilling for you, and then be able to really nail that when you're telling people about why you're a trainer, right? The next thing is, what do you actually love to do? So for me, I am a sucker for simplicity. If I am in a presentation and it's complicated, like, I am out. Like, no, don't talk, like, I can't. It's like, when you want to execute, complication is like the enemy of execution. Have you guys ever been confused about something and you're like, nope, I'm just gonna slide out the back door and not do this, like, too complicated. So for me, when I used to look at marketing, it was way too complicated for me to feel like I had a grasp on it. So that's what I love to do. Like, I like to put on blinders and I like to dive into marketing and really make it simple for people to understand. So when you guys leave the room today, you actually know what to do to execute. You're not in this analysis paralysis of what to do. So that's something that I love doing, taking complicated concepts. Maybe you're a trainer and maybe you love to help women who have lost themselves since, you know, they were in their 20s. But communicating that message is so important in your branding, really being able to nail what that is that you do. And last thing is your skills and education. Maybe you've been to the School of Hard Knocks, or maybe you went to school for something very specific, but talking about that in your marketing efforts. Like, for me, I was an English literature major and a women's studies major as well. Perfect, that wraps up quite nicely in a little box for fitness, like, perfect. Now, what I do with my skills is I am in marketing and I do copywriting. So it, like, all comes together. And in the center of those three things I've just talked about, and if you're a studio owner, if you're a trainer, you have those three things too, that helps, like, supersede telling people about just your credentials or, you know, I'm a personal trainer. It goes beyond that level and talks about your why. So I'd really advise you, like, take a picture of this or watch that Simon Sinek video. That will really help you start communicating with intention. And this is going to help you put together your bio and profile of how you actually need to talk to people about what you do. So I'm going to circle back to this as we get into some of the key steps here. So this is my mission statement. This is what I really do. I help fitness studio owners eliminate the overwhelm in their marketing efforts so they can have the business of their dreams. And I really feel like, as an entrepreneur, my job is to figure out what I hate doing and what I'm really bad at and outsource the shit out of that. Ain't nobody got time for that, right? And that is how I think you really go from good to great, is you learn what you're really good at, you stay in your zone of strengths, and you outsource everything else. Because think about it, like, what if every day you woke up and you were just doing what you loved? Would you not be much better at it? And someone else can handle, like, for me, the accounting, like, anything with numbers? Nope, not great. Not great with that stuff. So that's what I think it really is about. Okay, so because I'm a little bit somewhat techie, not really, if you take a picture of this little QR code here, that is going to take you to the link to the handout, so that if you have other people that you want to share it with, then it will do that. Yeah, it's the same one you guys have here, just in case you wanted the electronic copy. Cool. All right, and I really feel like, have you guys ever heard handouts will set you free? I love that concept because it's like, don't try to write everything down. Like, just be able to, like, be in the moment, and the handouts will help you remember what I've taught you today. Okay, awesome. So does anyone like Schitt's Creek? My sister does. All right, if you haven't seen Schitt's Creek, write it down, because this is another show. It's all Canadian. This is Moira. And we're going to be talking about the challenges that come up with getting into marketing for studios and personal trainers. But literally, if you haven't watched Schitt's Creek, it's like the best show ever. And I promise you, if there's one thing you learned today and you watch this show, like, that's a home run for me, if that's all that is translated today. It won't be, but, you know, just in case. Okay, so what are the most common challenges studio owners face when generating leads online? What do you guys think they are? What are some of the challenges you guys face now with generating leads? Qualifying them? Okay, so making sure it's, like, the right type of person that you want. Absolutely.
Follow up for me is, like, Instagram, I'm checking my email, this, like phone messages, like it's
all the things.
So.
Yeah. It's like, cool, I got leads, but like, how do I follow up with these people? Cool.
Split testing your ad.
Split testing your ad. Okay, cool. Figuring out which budget is going to go further for you and work better.
But the actual ad, because you may put an ad of a female picture in.
Yep.
You put a male picture and copy the male attracts.
Okay.
Find out how to attract the female.
Right, like who your avatar is, who your ideal customer is. Awesome. Anyone else have anything they struggle with? No? Okay, so these are the most common things that typically people are facing. I don't have the necessary time it would take to make an effective online presence. Yeah, because it like feels like it's time consuming, right? Like not only you got a full client roster, but then you got to like show up online too. It feels overwhelming. So this is why it's so important to be able to narrow that down, right? I'm not sure of the process or system required to attract our specific population we service. So like you said, like qualifying, knowing that you're going after the right people, totally. Who here has dabbled in Facebook ads? Can you put up your hand? Okay, a couple people. Okay, awesome. Okay, I know that word of mouth and referrals will only scale our business so far. Everyone looks online when trying to find solutions. Not being online is stifling our growth potential. So I've heard that before from studio owners I've worked with. It's like they just feel like they're missing out. And it is a big portion. Like who here looks online before they go somewhere and shop somewhere? It's a big thing, right? Like you just want to check it out, get a feel. I like to know the review. I like to know like what am I walking into? So sure, location does sell some studios, but there definitely is this underlying like word of mouth and through social media. If you can really have that good presence online, that's obviously going to drive business into your door. I've hired social media marketers in the past, but I don't feel I knew the fundamentals to create results. Who here has ever hired someone to do their marketing before? Yeah? Okay, how did you guys feel about the no?
It wasn't awesome because I still felt like I was doing work.
Yeah.
You have to provide
Most of the work.
So if you're providing the content, just throw it up there yourself. Like I have to get the pictures together, get all this stuff together. So
it's like, what are you even doing for me?
The 2 seconds posted. Like
I should just
post my content that I just spent. Like that's the work of getting the content. I feel.
Totally.
Constantly.
Yeah, it's a constant, like everyday thing. Then you add stories into that, and you're like, I gotta show up 15 times a day for 15 seconds. Like, what the hell is this? Anyone else? Anyone else have any people they've hired? Anyone have any good stories about people they've hired? Yeah, what do you got? Love it. It's awesome. Yeah.
And in fact, when she talks to a web designer, she's like, oh, no. It's gotta be this way.
Love that. Yeah. So
It's nice to do an exchange.
yeah, it's like one, like she obviously understands the vibe and the avatar, like the customer that you're going after. And then to be able to do an exchange for that, oh yeah, totally, right? As a trainer, I would love to have exchange services, right? All about that. Yeah.
I think I'm the king of contract and barter, so I tried that once with a client because I've heard it could be a good story, but I think because I didn't have a clear outline of exactly what was needed and what she was going to bring,
Yeah.
it was kind of left in the middle, and then midway through, some of the stuff that you're wanting to get done isn't getting done, and then
Yeah.
kind of ruins the relationship.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, I've had that before. I tried to hire a social media manager and it was like just way out in left field and I was constantly rewriting the content, which you're like, this is what I'm paying for. And then, but you know your customer best. So I hope today what I'll provide you guys with is a blueprint of exactly if you do end up hiring someone, what should they actually be doing for you to help generate leads online? Okay. So sometimes when we have this idea of like we're going after lead generation, we take a swing and we miss, it's a ton of wasted effort, right? Like it's a lot of work, and then if it's not working, it's easy for people to get really frustrated with it. So it's definitely something that I want to help everyone feel much more confident today in. So we get overwhelmed before we even begin in the process, and we don't understand the fundamentals, so we end up doing nothing with it, right? That's usually what happens. So I want to get really clear today on what we're trying to achieve. Your greatest goal when generating leads online is exactly like, it's 2 words. First word starts with O, second word starts with D, and you might be swiping right or swiping left. Anyone know what the answer is? Is no one swiping in here? Yes! Who said that? Online dating in the back. Nice. Yes, online dating. Yeah, swipe left or swipe right. So online dating, right? Okay, again, Schitt's Creek, sorry dudes, but it is all about online dating. That is what generating leads online is all about. And we're gonna break it down why it is so. So everyone is familiar with online dating though, right? Like we know what this is? Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure I didn't have to explain that. Okay, so it's all, lead generation is all about how you flirt with your audience. So I want you to think about this, you don't just ask for commitment, right? Like you don't just sit down at the table and you're like, okay, so I want a family with 3 children and a dog and a fence. Like that other person is probably gonna be like, where's the courtship? Like what happened here? So I really want you guys, every time you think about lead generation, I want you to think about online dating. So here is why. So there is a curiosity phase. So anyone, I'm sure we've all been on dates before. What happens in the curiosity phase? Anyone know? There's no wrong answer here.
Rapport building.
Rapport building, yes, totally. What else?
Checking each other out.
Yeah, checking each other out, like seeing if there's that like attraction, right? Anything else? You're scanning through profiles, like you only have that limited number of seconds. Yeah, there's a visual. That's right. You're hot or you're not. That's right. Totally, right? You either appeal to that person or you don't. Like you know that right away, right? No? Anyone? Yeah? Cool. Okay. So that is the first part of online dating, right? Is there's this curiosity phase. Then it gets into this value. So what do you guys think happens at that stage? Like you're curious, your interest is piqued, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna go on date number 2. What happens in the value building phase? Comparison? Okay. In what sense? What do you mean?
The client wants the best deal always, so I'm going to compare you, compare 45, compare
Okay.
this guy, and see what it offers.
Okay, perfect.
If your brand stands out, they'll come to you.
Yeah, so it's like at that point in dating, you're like, okay, should I keep going on dates with this person? Like, is this what I want in life? Or like, no, I'm gonna make a switch at this point, right? So it's all about, do you guys share the same values? And are they adding value to your relationship, right? Okay, and then what happens in commitment?
You decide to do it, you get married or whatever.
You commit to that person, right? Like in this case, you pull out your credit card and you are committed to that person, right? Like in the sale, not in the marriage thing, right? Yeah, cool, okay. Just want to get that confused. Yeah, exactly. It happens that way as well. But so those are the 3 stages. So if you are someone that has ever dabbled in Facebook ads, knowing the difference between these stages and where that prospect is so important. Because if you've ever gone in Facebook ads, a lot of people spray and pray, and they will talk to people that have no idea who they are, like they want to make a commitment to them. And that's why it feels super awkward, and those Facebook ads don't work. Because you've got to court them. You've got to like tell them why you're valuable. You've got to build that relationship. And so you can't just jump in and ask for the commitment, okay? All right, so let's talk about step 1, which is all about piquing their curiosity. So the first thing that you want to do, and if you guys are like following along in the little handout there, you can like write in the answers as we go along. So create a consistent look and feel. I don't have any more, but I have like a little QR code and the website. So I'll just make sure to get you guys that picture so you can get it after. Yeah. So you want to create a consistent look and feel to your profile on all of your social networks. Udibomb.com, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, cool. Well, maybe this will work. All right. So does anyone know why that's important? And let's like think back to like Tinder. Like, why is it important? Has anyone been on Tinder and I only know this from my sister's experience, not from mine. I've been married for 9 years. But so like my sister, who can vouch for this, and she's right back there, she has been on, I don't know if it's Tinder, probably Bumble, yeah. Okay, so she's been on Bumble before, and she'll come across a profile and be like, I'm liking the vibes. And then she swipes to the next picture and she's like, is this the same person? Like, has anyone had that experience before or heard about that? Yeah. This happens all the time. It's like their profile picture is not consistent and you're like, who's gonna show up on this date? This guy or this guy? I don't know what I'm gonna get. So that feel is not great. You don't feel fully invested in that person if there's not consistency there. You know? It's a true thing. So, no, this isn't gonna work, I don't think. Okay, so I wanna give you guys an example here of, has anyone heard of Spinco? Some people have. Okay, so like similar company is going to be like something like SoulCycle. So I just want to talk about branding for a second, because when you're trying to generate leads online, the curiosity phase, someone comes across your profile, it needs to be consistent. They can't feel like you are two different people on Tinder. Can't feel like that. It's got to be super consistent. So the top portion here is from their Facebook page. So what do you guys notice that's consistent about it? Colors, yeah. And if you were to go in the studio, like this is what you see. You see the instructor on the front of the stage with the spotlights. Like, it is a very consistent feel from what's in the photo to what you experience when you go inside. Has anyone been to one of these classes before, like a SoulCycle or Spinco? No? It's like, okay, picture like going to a nightclub, but like getting your workout done. It's like, in your 30s, it's kind of a new hot thing. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I still have this urge to like want to go to the club and dance, but I'm like, that's not appropriate. Like, I am 34 years old and I live in Brights Grove, Ontario, so there ain't no clubs there. So this is sort of like that, the feel that this brand like brings to life, right? Is like you're gonna go to this like place that's like a dance club, right? So you kind of get that feel when you look at the first image. And then when you look at the second image, so this is from their Instagram profile. So again, the logos match, they're exactly the same. And they have these 3 words that stand out, right? Work, sweat, achieve. So those are their values. So they're kind of doing a bit of both, right? They've got curiosity happening. You're like, who is this girl at the front of the class that looks like she's having so much fun? You've got that going on. And then you've also got them, like they're starting to talk values here, right? Sweat, achieve, like, do I believe what they believe? Is this a good fit? Because if you believe those things, you're instantly gonna trust that brand, right? Okay, does anyone use Instagram? Put up your hands. Cool. Anyone use Instagram stories? Oh, wow, great, good for you guys. Facebook stories? Yeah, okay, awesome.
You can just do it on Instagram and go straight into it.
You got it. Yeah, perfect, awesome. So the other thing, what else was I gonna mention about this? No, I think that's it. Okay, cool. Does that concept make sense for everyone? Oh, personal trainers here. How many times a year do you get professional photos done? Okay, you know the right answer? Anyone know? How many times do you think you should get them done?
2.
2, okay, why?
Because different seasons in the year. So one in the summer, fall, one in the spring, autumn-ish.
Okay, cool. I was like, aren't there 4 seasons? Where do we live? Maybe not where I'm from, but yeah.
Trainer seasons, cut and hold.
Yeah, this is true. You could just have a toque in one but legit, that's exactly the right answer. Like, you need to have photos for every season.
It is Canada. Like, sometimes we
It
have 4
is.
seasons in one day.
That's right, yeah. And yeah, and photos are so great whenever you're doing like any sort of promotion, or like you want to keep your, like if you have a logo, you want to keep your logo consistent, but the backdrop is so great to have a personal photo. Does anyone use Canva? Oh my gosh, write it down if you don't. It's amazing. It makes you look like you know how to use Photoshop, but you don't need to.
If you want to use a Canadian company, check out Get Stencil.
What is it? Get Stencil? Amazing. Love it.
Support a Canadian company.
Cool. Yeah. It's always good for tax season. Yeah.
One good thing for coaches to know free workout, click here, it won't link, so you might as well put it in that section there for your business and then tell them to go to your bio log to click on it. Because for a while I had no problem putting, join my challenge, come for this, and then some web guy says they can't link on it.
You can
Yeah.
do a swipe up, but yeah.
Swipe up.
10K.
10K.
10K, unless you do ads, but yeah, 10K. For anyone that just doesn't understand what that is, don't worry, we'll get there. Everyone's like, what? Okay, so this is from their Instagram feed. What do you guys notice? Consistency. How
Clean looking.
Brand
clean?
color.
What else?
Color schemes.
Color schemes. Yep. Anything else?
It's to their ideal client, women.
Yes. Love it.
What do you say?
It's to their ideal client. Like they know their client. They know who they are.
But they're also doing photographer's pattern, which I just learned, which is
Uh-huh.
you set it up so if someone scrolls the entire feed, this picture is like 3 people, then there's one, then there's 3, then there's a team, there's single, so there's a different way to let for the person that's that particular that cares about it. For me, I just post it.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because we just talked about ideal client. If I'm a woman in my 30s, do I care about aesthetics? Hell yeah. Like that is appealing to me. But to someone that maybe is running a different sort of studio, maybe it's a guy in their 40s, like do they care about that? Probably not, right? So it's all about knowing your ideal customer and what they're actually going to look for when they go to your Instagram feed. There's other things you can do, but this is like, you don't have to be perfect at this. Like you just have to show up. As you get going, like of course you can apply the same filter to all your photos. That's going to again help create consistency, but like you don't have to start there. All you have to start with is showing up online. Okay. So this is what SpinGo talks about where they have their bio on their Facebook page, their about page. So this is where, do you remember where we started at the beginning where we talked about like the circle, the magic? This is really them being able to put it into words, what they actually do. Because sometimes that's really hard, right? When you're like, well, I'm a trainer and I train and that's what I do. Don't ask me any more questions. It's like really hard sometimes to bring it to life, but think about, you know, what are you really born to do? What do you love doing? And what are the skills in education that really bring it to life for you? So this is, I think, just a good example. They start with their values, right? Their values are work, sweat, and achieve. And if you believe what they believe, immediately there's this trust and curiosity and connection that starts to happen. Put up your hand if do you feel like you have your bio nailed? Yeah, that's cool. What do you think like helped you nail that and put it together?
Getting really clear on my avatar and what they want out of my services.
My God, nailed it. That's perfect. Like, does anyone feel like, oh, I'm kind of like, I don't really know my avatar yet. And I don't even know what that means. So stop using that word, Ashley Shaw. Do you know?
That's the blue person from the movie, right?
Exactly. That's what we're talking about. So let me break this down a bit for you guys. What a customer avatar is it doesn't mean in your business you just have one. Okay,
Say that is like I feel like there's such a broad, like we have women coming from age 16 to 60.
Yeah,
I think some
totally
wanna
get
be
that.
Sexy, some don't care about that at all. They
Yeah.
just want to get fit. They want to
Yeah.
just climb the pole. They want to
Break it down still to females as the female specialist.
but I have men too.
Yeah, so here's the thing that, like the advice I would give you guys. When I first started my business, one of the best things that I did is I got on Zoom calls and just a ton of phone calls with my ideal customers. So I work a lot with social selling networks, like Beachbody is one of the groups I work with all the time. I got on the phone with a bunch of coaches and I was like, what do you need help with? And every single person I talked to, I wrote down what they said. Because even if I try to think about what they're trying to do in their business, if I don't know their words, that's not great marketing. It's not going to translate. So talk to it. I know it sounds like, oh, like, do I really have, I swear to God, it will save you so much time. You won't believe how much of an impact it'll have on your marketing when you know exactly what your ideal customer wants in their words. And you may have 3 or 4 ideal clients. Like when I think about my business, a lot of the coaches I work with are just starting. But those are 2 different ideal customers I need to speak to. And it's not that it's like this array of like Sure, there's many people in between, but when you write a social media post, you literally need to think, this person is sitting right across the table from me, and I am going to speak directly to them. Now that may sound crazy. You're like, but what about all the other people? It really is about being so specific that you can, like, social media is busy, it's noisy, right? So if you don't speak directly to them, then you're not going to break through all the noise online, okay? So guys, what I want you to do is I want you to take 2 minutes. I want you to turn to the person next to you, and I want you to I want you to give them 4 qualities that your ideal customer has, okay? So I want you to tell them and share with them 4 qualities your ideal customer has.
They're action takers.
What? They don't tell you what they do. Yeah, that's funny, right? Because it's not even about that. It's crazy. Okay, so take 2 minutes to talk to your partner. What are 4 qualities your ideal customer has? Yeah? Okay. So guys, we're gonna, so did anyone, in having to like speak out loud, what those qualities were, did anyone learn anything from having to like say it out loud? What did anyone realize anything, or do you guys know who your person is? Or do you feel like I learned that I need more clarity? Yeah? Okay, perfect. It takes time, guys, but when you can nail it, you will break through the noise on social media and speak directly to that person that you're going after. That will help break through the noise online. Now, this is another thing you can do for consistency, is like tie in your fonts and tie in those things so that people, like, before they even see the post, they know it's you. Like, that's a really good way to keep consistent as well. So these are some places you can include the link to your website or back to your page, your Facebook business page, Instagram profile, like you can have a link in there, as well as your LinkedIn profile. Does everyone have LinkedIn profiles? No? Oh my gosh. You should, for sure. That's how I got contacted about speaking here, where someone found me on LinkedIn. That's how I got recruited to go out west to work for Nash, LinkedIn. It's crazy. So make sure you are on LinkedIn.
Some people try to do dating through LinkedIn. That's apparently a thing.
I've heard of that happening too. Yeah, that can happen. Yeah.
What's your profile say?
Write that down, whatever it says, copy that. That's awesome. So guys, the action steps about piquing curiosity: nail your why in your profile. Be consistent in your images and logo, and make sure to include your website link whenever possible. Whenever you see an opportunity to do that, link back to your website and your page. Anyone not have a website? Okay, you can legit go to MailChimp and just build yourself a very basic landing page. So you don't need a website. Like, you can just use that. Once you get into Facebook ads, like, you do need a website, but we can talk about that another time. Yeah?
The question is it worth it to have Facebook? I try, but to my experience and what I know is just you have to have a massive, like a number of people to make it be worth it.
For Facebook ads?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try, but
Yeah, maybe what I'll do, I'll chat with you after the set, like just give you a few things I've learned the hard way. Let's put it that way. Okay.
Can I say something really quickly?
Yeah.
A lot of people will get scammed in this room because I got scammed the same way. And you're looking for landing pages for people to build that. They're going to charge you $1,000 to $2,000.
Yeah.
There's a guy called, you want to write this down. There's a guy called Brian Devlin. I'm going to write this down. From Fit Pro Labs, it's the program that I use. It's cheap. It's $100 a month. And you will have landing pages built. You'll have automation. You'll have drip campaigns. You'll have all the reminders. You can make playbooks that people can come to a challenge. You can upload all your videos and all your programs into there. It's very, very cheap.
Cool.
Brian Devlin is the guy that designed it. It's Fit Pro Labs.
Fit Pro Labs.
If you tell him Dimitri from Summit, he'll probably
All right, sorry guys, I'm gonna let you guys take that information down after. I gotta keep going, sorry. Okay, step 2, show them your value, okay? We're just gonna move along here. So you need to speak directly to your ideal customer, and the really important part here is to add value into their life. It's not enough to post online and be like, hi, I'm a personal trainer. Wanna come in for a workout? Like, what value are you adding? So you really wanna think about your ideal customer. Maybe they're a mom, maybe they have 3 kids and they're tired all the time and they can't fit into their high school jeans anymore, and that really is something they care about. You need to speak directly to that person and add value to their life specifically. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about, I'm sure we've all heard of Lululemon. They are the masters at being able to know their ideal customer, add value to their lives through social media, through their Pinterest boards, through all those methods, and they do such an amazing job with this. So they talk about their why and what they do. Does anyone know the story of Lululemon, how it started? It started as a yoga studio by day, and Chip Wilson, he used to run West Beach, so he knew about technical athletic gear. And so Lululemon, he got this high from surfing and from doing all these adrenaline sports. And when he found yoga and meditation, it was like this similar effect for him. So he was like, yeah, I'm all over this. I love this. And so when you go to a Lululemon store, remember I talked about the 3 things, what you're born to do, what you love to do, and your skills and education. So for Lululemon, yoga is one of those circles. The other one is technical fiber, because he knew everything about clothing. And then the third one is a community hub. Have you ever gone into a Lululemon store and you're like, stop, I don't want to tell you what I do and what all the you're in my face. Have you ever been there? And they're like, okay, so what sport are you doing? And then they get into all this detail. That's what they wanted, is to create this community hub where they have their goals on the wall. They talk about, what they're doing for personal development. That's on purpose for that to happen. But those are the 3 circles for Lululemon, and they do all of those things super, super well. So when it comes to their avatar, I don't know if you guys all know this, but they have 2. This is one of them. Meet Ocean. She's 32 years old. She makes $100,000 a year. She lives downtown with her fiance. She sweats every day. So the purpose of this avatar is that if you're in your 40s, you aspire to get back to this time when you could work out every day and you're all of a sudden making good money, and you go to brunch on the weekends. You're doing all these fun things. And if you're in your 20s, you aspire to get to that. You can't wait till you're making enough money to go out for brunch on the weekends every weekend and have not 1, but maybe 3 mimosas. You have a few, right? So there is this avatar that they're constantly speaking to through all their posts. So you guys are gonna know when you see their posts now exactly who they're talking to. So the action step here is to define your ideal customer. Really utilizing the 80-20 rule. If you're a personal trainer or a studio owner, you dig into your stats, you're gonna see that there is a customer profile there. It's in the numbers. 80% of your customers will be a certain type of avatar. So look into the stats and see what's already there. You are already appealing to a market. You may just not know who it is. But there are people spending money with you, and 80% of your revenue is coming from this 20% of your customer base. Just figure out what that is and then speak to that person consistently.
I worked for a gym who was their target, they set their target market as, I want to work with athletes.
Yep.
And they realized that we're making all our money off of moms. So
Yeah.
they had to re-change their branding message, but it took them looking at the 80-20 rule to figure that out.
Yeah, there is this book I read, I think it's called Sales and Marketing, the 80-20 rule. If you haven't read it, it will exponentially, people that are successful in marketing just understand this rule and how many times it unfolds. I will figure out the exact title. Jazzy, can you Google that? 80-20 rule, sales and marketing. I'll figure out who the author is, but I listened to it the first time and it blew my mind. I was like, what? This stat keeps going on and on and on. And if you're consistently looking at your numbers in your business, you're like, holy shit, why am I talking to athletes when moms are the ones that are responding? And all of a sudden, all these light bulbs will go off for you. So I'll make sure you guys get the name of that book. Speak to them directly in every post. Don't spray and pray. If you spray and pray and you're like, I'm talking to everyone from 16 to 64, you're talking to no one. Like legit, no one's listening. So just picture that avatar and speak directly to them. If it's a dude, let's say he's 36 years old, he really likes that like intense like CrossFit style workout because it makes him feel like a little younger. You know, he feels good when he does it. Speak to that dude. Did someone laugh in there? No, just kidding. Okay, add value to their lives daily. So instead of trying to talk to them like, what can I take from you, right? Like, come have a session with me, do this. How can you add value into their life? Like, what does that mom need to hear for her to like feel like, wow, I trust this person, they're an expert. That's what you want to be thinking about. Okay, so we're gonna go into the last step here, ask for the commitment. So you want to ask for the commitment, but with strategy. So I've just told you guys, don't go on there every day and be like, you know, when I used to work at the gym, it was so awkward. We'd hire these salespeople and they'd have to get leads, right? To like keep their business going. And they would like stand by the front desk and be like, got any names and numbers? Like this is legit what they did all the time. And I was like, come on, dudes, like don't do that. You have to give value, right? You can't just be asking for names and referrals all the time. You just can't. So there's a strategic way in which you need to do this. So these are the 7 posts that you need to be doing consistently. Every 7 posts, then you can ask for them to do something. You can ask for something back. But this is what you need to be doing consistently. So the first thing is we're going to talk about what we love. So these are some things you can talk about in your posts. The first one will be like, this is the move of the day. So this is the grok squat. This is why I love it. This is why you should do it all the time. Oh, I think, sure, yeah. I think it's in your handouts too. Oh, just kidding. Keeping you on your toes. All right. Cool. Okay, awesome. We're going to go through them too so you guys can fill them in as we go. Okay, so this could be a move of the day. This could be like your favorite playlist. I don't know about you guys, but like I need a really good playlist for my workouts. Otherwise, it just doesn't happen. So a podcast that you love, that you're like, nope, you need to listen to this. It's going to summarize this for you. It could be a fitness app that you just can't get enough of. Maybe it's a smoothie recipe to make sure you get your protein. Or it could be an easy dinner option that you're able to make in 20 minutes. Or this personal trainer. I love this personal trainer because, if you're a studio owner. Or it could be, I love this client because. So if you think of that theme, that's one post that you would put in your sequence. What we love or what I love. Next, it's about educating. So what I can do, guys, is because we're obviously like moving quick through this, why don't I have my email at the end. If you want the PowerPoint, you just shoot me an email and I'll send it all to you. Okay, so educate. This is the type of post that we're talking about why water helps. It could be how to get a booty. It could be how to stay motivated or get motivated. How weight loss works and simple, right? Like it's got to be simple for people to understand if that's your ideal customer, right? If they're more like they understand more of that, then you want to speak to them in a different way, right? You're going to speak differently to someone that maybe like the majority of your clients are athletes, then sure, you speak to them differently if you're talking to a mom with 2 kids that stays at home and just wants to feel good, right? How to find the right workout or how to find the right workout for your body type. Cool? Does that make sense? Educate posts? Yeah? Awesome. Okay. Next, behind the scenes. I love this one because it's your chance to like showcase without being salesy. You can be like, look at this, this is like, look at this, I love putting together programs. It's my favorite time of the day. Like I love helping my clients get results. So you're able to like tell people a little bit about what you do, but not being like, I'm creating programs right now. Like, don't have to be that weird, like, out there in their face. It's like behind the scenes, this is what's happening. The results the member's getting, the workout happening right now, why we love this trainer, the state of the parking lot. That's just an example. Like it's all like behind the scenes, like what's going on. Cool? Okay. Inspire. So this is the next post that you would incorporate. Best motivational song we're loving right now, how to get a cardio session in on your lunch, benefits of weight training, 3 tips to get motivated. So it's all about inspiring them It could be a quote, like anything that you find inspiring. Like, you know, usually our ideal clients are like, could be 2 to 3 stages behind where we are now in our life. It's like lessons we've learned to get where we are. So share those things. And has anyone put a post out there before that they were kind of like unsure about and it felt vulnerable and then it gets all these like likes and engagement? Yeah, go back, look at your feed. The 80-20 rule is happening and you don't even know it probably. There are posts that are getting the most engagement. Go back and figure out which posts those are and do more of those. That's gonna help, right? Because how this translates to lead generation is the more eyeballs that you have on your posts, the more people that if you do these steps consistently, they will reach out when you have a call to action. And that's what we're leading up to, is a call to action. Okay. Engage. These are such great ones for leads as well. Tag someone is like the best thing that you can do because then they're gonna tell you who your ideal customers are right there. So make sure that when you ask them to tag your workout buddy, that you go back and you follow up with those people too, right? Like, hey, your bestie just tagged you and says they're your most motivational workout partner. Great job. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but it's gonna pique their interest in you, right? A GIF for how your workouts are going, like drop a GIF to tell me how you're feeling today. These are all about engaging your audience. Drop an emoji to get the recipe. So if you post a recipe, something really delicious that you love, make them drop an emoji. Yeah.
What's a gift?
Oh, remember those ones I did at Schitt's Creek? Those, like where they're animated. If you go to giphy.com, you can get them there. Yeah, valid question, for sure. What are you thankful for today? And get people to drop that. So again, it just goes back to your ideal customer and making sure it's catered towards that audience. This is another post you're gonna do about us. So your story, member of the month. These are our values. Staff member of the month, our mission, or how we give back or support our community. So it's all about embedding your values and helping your prospective audience really understand who you are. And then lastly, call to action. So this is where the lead generation, like all those posts lead up to, this is where the leads are generated, right? Come in for a free workout, or bring your bestie, or register for this class, or meet with this trainer, or come to our event. So you're asking them to do something and to respond. A call to action is where you are asking to get a lead, but you have to follow up with the people that like that post or share that post. Like, it's not as just easy as they're gonna drop their name and phone number below. It's not that easy. You have to follow up with the people that interact with you on social media. That's where the magic really happens. Yeah.
You're actually saying you're following up with the likes even?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
You send them a direct message.
Yeah, send them a direct message. Thank you so much for liking my post. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the love and support. Like, you know, it's just an intro connection. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Anyone that watches your stories on Instagram, same thing. Follow up. Yeah, 100%. Okay, this is another little pro tip here. Anyone used a scheduling program before for their posts? This is like a lifesaver. I use Buffer, but there's lots of options. What I love about it is I can copy and paste a post and it can send it to all my social media networks. One click of the button.
What's the fee for Buffer?
It depends on which program you are and how many connections that you have. I'm trying to remember what I pay. There's a free version.
Does it go by how many likes you have, or like how many people you have?
How many networks you want to connect. Yeah. So there, you can use the free version to see if you like it, but once you have I post everywhere, like Twitter, LinkedIn, like I post everywhere, because why not? So because I have more profiles, there is a cost to it. But you can just get started with one. Facebook also has a scheduler too. I just like one that posts everywhere. It's just easier. This is what it looks like, right? You can click off, like if I want Instagram, I have Facebook groups I run, I have Pinterest, like all the things. I can put it there and it'll send it to all of them. So it's pretty sweet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So guys, I run a free Facebook group. It's a business bootcamp for fitness coaches and fitness entrepreneurs. So that's another QR code if you guys want to snap a picture of that. Anytime I have anything marketing-wise that I think will be very valuable, I post it there. I go live there and talk about marketing concepts. So that's all available for you guys. And then I also provide done-for-you resources. So what I do is I do 31-day posting plans, and then you tweak it to your ideal audience, but I give you the content, and then you just post it and tweak it. So that's another thing that I do for fitness studios, and I have an offer in there for 50% off your first month. If you feel like that's something that you're like, yes, Ashley Shaw, take the wheel, let me do this for you, then that's an option for you guys as well. Okay, cool. So guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for all your attention. Does anyone have any, we have like 5 minutes, if anyone has any questions that I can answer, any feedback or comments or, yeah, all the things. Sure.
Sometimes people say that when you use a hashtag too much, it's not as effective. So how do you manage the hashtags?
Well, I'm going to be real with you. The last time I Googled a hashtag was never, so I don't play into it. To be honest, like, I'll put hashtags on my Instagram posts, but like, honestly, I don't know. Has anyone Googled a hashtag before? Put up your hand.
I read something I was going to share.
They change all the time. Like, they change,
Yeah.
as far as I understand, they every certain time they change
Algorithm. It's the algorithm for the algorithm.
Exactly. So
I heard there is no
There's books
point
about
of using hashtags for
Yeah.
business unless
Yeah.
you're doing less than 30.
Yeah, it's one of those tricky things. Like for me personally, I connect with my audience. Like it's usually not through hashtags, but sure, like when you get to a certain point, like you need to know what your people would be searching for that's going to link in your business. So you could have a look at other businesses that are similar to yours, but you have to test it. There's no real, like you have to test with your audience what they're going to use.
I
Yeah.
just read somewhere and I've been experimenting with it.
Yeah.
We think that it's best to like, okay, you know, when you start to type a hashtag, it will pull up and tell you how many people, like, so say you type in the hashtag love, it's like 10 billion, whatever.
Yeah.
But so that's not really effective anymore, is like you need to like be more specific and choose hashtags that have a lower amount of, like.
You're more
because they're more apt
likely.
to, like, hone in on that
You're
hashtag.
more likely to get on the explore page if you have something that not as many people are searching for. So yeah, the smaller the sample, but is better, right? Than like if you put like hashtag love, it's going to pull up like millions of people. So the goal of using it is for the explore page, but yeah. So you want to get to the point, you know, when people have like, it goes to dots, don't do that because people don't watch all of those. There's a really good formula by Chanel Johnson. It's called Ridic. And that is the formula I would recommend. If you look up Chanel Johnson Instagram stories, Ridic, there's 5 stories a day. That's what, and she talks about what to talk about in those. Yeah, cool. Is it? Yeah. Nice, awesome, cool. Any other questions? No, amazing. Thank you, you guys. Oh, sure.
And that's for kind of everybody. When you give out free sessions, you honestly find that that works or that you retain those clients? Because I've had a terrible, like I've given free classes all the time.
Yeah.
The people that come and do it for free, they do not come back. And I've personally messaged them, I've called them, I've given special offers for them, and they're there because it's free, and then they're gone. Because someone that's truly interested in it would actually source it out and pay for that service.
What's your pre-qualifying process for the 3 people?
I've just posted up and I put like we're having free classes for the day and come in and try holiness, blah blah blah.
Try
Bring a
implementing
friend.
some sort of pre-qualifier. Right? That way you at least know that they're more serious than somebody who's just going to show up. Right? Because that way you're not wasting your time with that free 30-minute session.
Yeah.
Right? Just sending them a quick intake form. Part
You-
Q, da-da-da-da. Now they're
Yeah.
just investing 5 minutes of their time before they come and you invest your time in that.
And then the other thing I would do is look at your customer base and see what the 80-20 rule is in there, and then focus your time on attracting those sorts of people. Because it might just be a bunch of students that are like, oh, free class, sure, I'll go. Yeah, yeah, cool. Okay, I want to be respectful of next presenter who's up. Thank you so much for your time, guys. I so appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, guys.